Hey guys, what's up? Hope everybody's having a fantastic day and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing this amazing bronze summery goddess highlighted to the gods look. I know there was a lot of goddess in that description, but in all honesty, that's completely what I think of. And on top of it, this is an extremely fast look to do. On an average day though, this would take me 15-20 minutes max to get out the door. There are no false lashes included in this look, which is amazing for me. I hate my own lashes, but I found a new mascara that works really well. If you guys want to see this whole package, what I put together, then please continue watching. See you in a second. Okay, so first things first, I obviously have my eyebrows on, and for this look, I would opt to just go natural, but of course, as always, do whatever the heck you want with your brows. Okay, let's zoom in and get started on eyes. This look is so easy, especially with the eye makeup, so I'm really excited to show you guys because I think it's gorgeous, but it's something you can still do with limited time and feel really great about it throughout the day. I'm going to be doing something unconventional for eye primer, and I'm first going to go in with Smashbox Photo Finish Hydrating Under Eye Primer, and it works rather well. It's kind of like a base for my base. I would only recommend this if you have super dry eyelids, as I do, otherwise it might have some issues with wear time. Once that settles a little bit, I'm just going to go in with MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. My one tip with this too is to use as small of an amount as you can get away with. To set that, just because I already have it out, I'm going to be using Kat Von D's Light and Shade palette, and I'm just going in with the lightest shade, not that one, definitely. One of the main keys to this look is Everglow, the collab that Nikki Tutorials did with Ocher. To start out with, I'm going to go in with this beautiful deep copper tone and put it all over my lid up into my crease. This is going to be the main shadow color that we're using. To go in to start with, I'm not going to be using any setting spray on my brush or anything like that. I want it to be dry so it blends better. Oh. I mean, my God, look at that. So pretty. I'm literally just going to be putting this all over my eye. Once I have it established on my eye, I'm going to be making a slight wing shape. Very soft though, and we're gonna clean it up later, so don't worry about being messy. Now I just flipped my brush over and I'm going to be wetting it with the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea setting spray. I just recently started using this and it smells like citrus and oranges, and oh God, it's just so refreshing for summertime. I'm going to be going back and forth between the lightest shade and the medium shade. I'm just gonna pop this in the middle. And then I'm going to flip my brush back over, and what's left from that copper tone shade I'm going to use to blend. And now I'm just going to be taking a clean blender brush and buffing all of the harsh edges out, just making it look super blown out and glorious, bronzy, and fantastic. It really doesn't take too much effort with this either to blow it out. It's so nice to work with. You can always add just a little bit of extra definition in your crease, but I am really happy with the way this looks, so I'm gonna be moving on. I can't remember if this is the first time that I've never done false lashes on a tutorial on my channel or not, but it's the second, if not the very first time. A mascara that I have completely fallen in love with is one that's sort of new to L'Oreal, and it's their new Voluminous Lash Paradise. The packaging is a little controversial in my opinion, because guess what this looks like? My go-to primer right now for summertime is by Maybelline, and it's their Master Prime. I love the Blur and Illuminate ones. The other ones are great too, but this just does it for my skin. It just works with me. It also has SPF 30 in it, which I think is really great for a drugstore face primer. For my base, I'm using my good old trusty go-to. I know you guys are probably getting tired of this, but I can't help it. It's just good. All I did was switch up the colors because I have a slight tan, and so I'm using Creamy Natural and Classic Ivory in the Total Coverage. This is Pro Glow, by the way, if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I've been totally digging using Real Technique sponges lately. They're just really bouncy and soft, but the only downfall is I feel like you never know what you're getting with them. Like every other time I'll get a harder sponge and it will just be so disappointing to where I'll just go buy another one and then it will be great. Does anybody else experience that with them? I haven't even been using concealer with this look. What I'll do is just use a tiny tad bit of the Total Coverage and use that just where I really need it, in the corners where I get dark circles. Even though this is really full coverage, you can customize it by using more of the Pro Glow like I did. Depending on my mood and what finish I want, I can, you know, go either way, and that's why I really like using a combination of foundations. To start off this bronzy look, I'm going to be using a stick detent from Revlon. This is one of their photo ready sticks, and just go in where I would normally bronze. I would use this sparingly, but it's not so pigmented that you can't work with it, and I just find that it's the perfect bronze shade for my skin. It also doesn't dry so fast that you have to worry about, you know, just doing one section at a time. You can still put it all over your face and get to it in time. I put the side way too far down, so I'm just gonna take I almost said beauty blender. I'm gonna just take this and clean that up, and voila. And then I'm gonna go in with Almay's Smart Shade Powder. I have been loving this powder lately. It's so good for dry skin. It never makes me look cakey. It never settles into my fine lines. It's just perfect, and it's a loose powder so you can bake with it. It gives off such a natural finish. I am not going to be baking today though. I'm just gonna be putting powder in the places that I really need it. Then I'm going to take whatever is left over on my sponge and just make sure this is set. It won't really dilute the color, but it'll just make sure it won't go anywhere in the meantime until I actually add bronzer. So I totally forgot to zoom my camera out when I started on my face, but oh well, we're here now, and yeah. Love me. To enhance that cream bronzer that we put on, I'm going to be using just Maybelline powder shade that's too dark for my skin tone, obviously. It's in 320 Natural Tan. This is in 320 Natural Tan. It still has the puff in it. Aww. Ew. Just really go lightly over where you put that stick bronzer, and as you can tell, this is really lightweight, so it doesn't look heavy on the skin, but at the same time you look very bronzed and nice. I'm not making this super heavy, and I'm going along the natural planes of my face and just blending it out. As you noticed, I didn't put any of the cream bronzer on my nose, and that's because my nose just hates cream products like that. It just patches out every time. I don't know what the deal is, but if you can work it, girl, work it for me. So to compensate for that, I'm going to just be kind of throwing powdered bronzer all over my nose. Not literally. Usually I use small brushes to do this, but I've been really into big brushes to kind of contour and bronze my nose lately. Then I'm going to take a bronzer that does have sheen to it. If you want, you can totally skip this step, but it's a beautiful bronzer from Physicians Formula. This is one of their bronze boosters. This is actually in medium to dark. I didn't know that when I picked this up, but it just worked with my skin tone still, and I've gotten plenty of use out of it, honestly, for not even supposedly going with my skin tone. I'm just going to use the same brush for this and dip and flick. I'm kind of using this as like a bronze topper. It just adds light. Look at that. It just adds dimension to your bronzer. Then, as always, if you need to buff something out, take your good and trusty blender sponge. I keep wanting to call this a beauty blender. Just take the side that you used powder for and go to town. I really don't want this to have a shape, but yet kind of sneakily getting into that cheekbone, you know what I mean? Then hopping back over to Everglow, I'm going to be actually using this medium shade right here, but going in with a very light hand because it is a tad too bit dark for me. But you're gonna see what I'm gonna do to make this extra special for you guys. Wah, wah, wah. So just kind of really buffing it out, doing like a subtle highlight. Then I'm going to be taking my trusty setting spray and slightly spraying this. So you don't want to get your brush too wet when you're going in on your face, or you're going to break your cream products underneath that you put on all up. So just do like one slight spritz, shake it off. Then I'm going to go deep into this light shade. The trick is to focus it in the middle of where you put that initial highlight, and it will make everything look blended and glorious. I know this seems like an extreme extra step to take, but literally it takes 2 seconds and it's so worth it. I mean, look at that, you guys. Is that not worth your time? Is it? Ooh. For the rest of my face, I am going to be mixing the medium and the light shade together just so it's not as contrasting as my cheekbones are. Just kind of swirl them together, and I'm not adding any setting spray to this. It doesn't need it. Then going in on the chin, I am adding more highlight than I normally do just because this is such a summertime and bronzy look. You can kind of go a little extra and get away with it. Then of course the forehead. I'm using the lightest shade for my inner corner highlight. Then I'm just taking that bronze shade one more time, really tapping it off, and I'm stopping halfway through my lower lash line. I actually decided to add one more layer of mascara now that I know this is fully dried. There was actually a product that inspired me to do this look, and it was part of the Revlon new Street Chic video that I just released before this one, and it is the Gold Goddess lipstick. This is such a beautiful lipstick. If you are curious about all of the Street Chic line, I will have that video linked below so you can see my more in-depth opinion of this, but you're about to see it on my lips right now. Okay, you guys, this is my finished bronzed and highlighted to the gods look. So if you've just been bored with your routine, you want to try something new, this is perfect. And a lot of the products that I used today were very affordable. I didn't mean for it to work out like that, but it just kind of did. I hope you guys loved this look, got inspired, and if you did, please give this a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, girl, because I would appreciate it. I hope you guys all have a beautiful day. I love you so much, and if anybody decides to try this out or the lipstick, live on the wild side and let me know. I would love to see it. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.